Hello and welcome to the weekly rundown by the Insider South Sudan. My name is Yoweri and these are the stories from across East Africa on 2nd October 2023. Days after unsuccessful efforts to meet the US President Joe Biden at the sideline of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, South Sudan President Salva Kiir traveled to Russia, where he met with Russian President Vladimir Putin at ease. Kiir's quick trip to Moscow is perceived as a hunt to fill a gap denied by Joe Biden. While in Russia, Presidents Kiir and Putin discussed cooperation in areas of economy, development, trade, energy, and education. James Baboya, a policy and political analyst at the Institute of Social Policy and Research based in Juba, South Sudan, says Kiir's trip to Moscow sends a message to Washington that change has begun in building equal relations with the rest of the world. He says the visit is likely to cause tension between the members of the UN Security Council, including the Americans themselves. The talks between Juba and the Kremlin come in the wake of a renewed call from President Kiir to the UN to lift the arms embargo imposed on the country. The Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese of Juba, Stephen Ameyu Martin Muller, is now South Sudan's first cardinal. Stephen Ameyu Martin Muller is one of the 21 bishops that Pope Francis named on the 9th July 2023 at a consistory for the creation of cardinals. He is also amongst 3 African bishops who are made cardinals on the 30th of September, an occasion in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. He now joins a group of 137 cardinals who will be able to elect a new pope. Cardinal Ameyu says his appointment as the first cardinal clears stereotypes and global skepticism that citizens of the young East African nation do not believe in God. South Sudan's governing body, the SSFA, has parted ways with the senior men's team coach, Stefano Cousin. The decision was made mutually between SSFA and Mr. Cousin after his 2-year contract ended earlier last month and he refused to renew the contract. Stefano Cousin has since joined the Comoros national team. The SSFA is now searching for a new head coach who can lead the Bright Stars to new heights. South Sudan President Salva Kiir and his counterpart, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the president of Uganda, have shown commitment to addressing border disputes between the two countries. For months, authorities in Kajo County of Central Equatoria State, bordering Uganda, have accused Uganda's People's Defense Forces, or UPDF, of illegal encroachment into the territory and setting up of a base there. Now Salva Kiir calls for calm as he explores ways of resolving the matter amicably with President Museveni. President Museveni has also sent 2 cabinet ministers to the border districts of Yumbe and Moyo in Uganda's West Nile region, bordering South Sudan's Central Equatoria States, to resolve the disputes between the two sisterly countries. Activists are now calling on the two leaders to forge an urgent solution beforehand. President Salva Kiir on Monday evening removed central bank head Johnny Ohisa Domain amid deteriorating exchange rates. He is replaced by Dr. James Ali Garang, a senior economist and academician. All eyes are now on the newly appointed bank governor, Dr. Ali Garang, to salvage the volatile exchange rate, the severe downfall of the South Sudanese pound, runaway inflation, and the ailing economy. The central bank's official exchange rate stands at SSP 1,029 per dollar and the parallel market at SSP 1,030. In a state decree, the president also relieved Mr. Addis Ababa Atao as the first deputy governor of the central bank and replaced him with Mr. Samuel Yanga Mikaya. John Machiek Achoth was also sacked as the second deputy bank governor, and Niel Gordon Kuhl was appointed as his successor. In another decree, Athian Ding Athiang was let go as the Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority just months after his appointment. Africano Monday, his former deputy, has been appointed as his replacement. Kenya's plan to send police officers to Haiti is still receiving criticism, most recently from the former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga and the former Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa. Writing in a commentary in a local newspaper, he termed the move as illegal and unconstitutional. He also warned that the move could set precedents for unconstitutional moves that disregard the rule of law. Backed by law experts like Ekuru Aukot, he argued that the illegal move would place poorly equipped officers to clean up dirty work done by the USA and France. In Tanzania, finance ministers from Tanzania and Zanzibar have started to look for other options to fund their standard gauge railway. This comes after signs of financial distress from Yapi Merkezi, the Turkish firms who are the main contractors of the standard gauge railway. With a projected cost of $10.4 billion, the move has caused concerns on the delay of the project, which is anticipated to act as a major trade corridor between East and Central Africa. Over the last 2 weeks, Tanzania's Finance Minister Mwigulu Nchemba has been in a European tour that has borne tentative pledges from Spain and Sweden. Sudan has declared a cholera outbreak that has seen 16 people die and 264 others hospitalized since 25th September. The World Health Organization is conducting investigations on the scale of the cholera spread in Khartoum and South Kordofan states. Dr. Nima Abid, a WHO representative in Sudan, has met with health authorities and other partners to plan on mitigating the situation. The process has included dispatching rapid response teams with management supplies such as antibiotics, oral hydration solutions, and much more. The Constitutional Court in Uganda is set to hear 3 petitions challenging the anti-homosexuality rule that was enacted in May. The petitioners, comprised of individuals and human rights organizations, would seek to contend the law, citing it was passed without proper public participation. Critics have termed the law as draconian and a violation of human rights. In August, the law saw its first case as a 20-year-old man was prosecuted for aggravated homosexuality and faces the risk of a death penalty. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, current President Felix Tshisekedi has been nominated to run for presidency again by his coalition, L'Union Sacrée de la Nation. This comes shortly after DRC's key figure in opposition, Martin Fayulu, announced that he will be running for presidency as well. Fayulu maintains that in the 2018 election, in which he emerged second, he was rigged. December 20 marks the day when Sub-Sahara's biggest country takes the ballot to decide who their next leader will be. October 1st is World Coffee Day, and people from around the world just celebrated with their favorite variations. Did you know that East Africa is one of the major producers of coffee around the world? From Ethiopia, that produces at least 3% of the world's coffee, to Kenya and Uganda, who also bear their share of the production. This is a good move for coffee production in the region. So the next time you sit down to enjoy a cup of coffee, it just might be from a farm in East Africa. That's all from us today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope